Hi everyone, my name is Maddison and I'm a research scientist in the Northern Territory. I work for the Northern Territory Government's Department of Primary Industry and Resources, which means that all my research is focused on horticultural industries up here in the top end. Now, our largest horticultural industry is mango production, so all of my research so far has been focused on mangoes, from fruit quality to export supply chains, nutrition, and at the moment I'm working specifically on climate change impacts on mango flowering up here in the Territory. So when I was at high school, I loved science. I studied biology and chemistry in Year 12, and they were my favourite topics, biology specifically. I also had a really strong interest in the environment, so I knew when I graduated from high school that I wanted to study environmental science. That's when I enrolled in Flinders, in an environmental science degree, and found that fascinating, learnt loads, and decided towards the end of my degree that I wanted to use this knowledge to improve food production sustainability. So towards, in my third year of a Bachelor of Environmental Science, I selected some external topics through Charles Sturt University, and those topics were specific to sustainable agriculture. When I graduated from my bachelor's degree, I immediately commenced a master's in sustainable agriculture, and my environmental science degree gave me a fantastic grounding for that, and also a different perspective probably from that a agricultural student would have. Thoroughly enjoyed studying sustainable agriculture, and then have been in the workforce for 3 years now since graduating from my master's degree. So my favourite thing about my current role is probably how diverse it is. So I definitely spend some time as a research scientist sitting at my desk analysing data and writing, but I also get to do a lot of different field trips and work outside. And just the nature of our work means that I get to study all of those different components of production, and that means I'm doing something different almost all the time and also learning something different all the time. I definitely knew what I wanted to do, but I didn't really know what types of jobs I could do that in. So I think my biggest challenge was finding the jobs that I was after, and I think that's just because I didn't have a good idea of the types of jobs that were out there and what they were like. So essentially I just said yes to all the opportunities I came across. I did lots of volunteering and worked in lots of different jobs to work out really what job was right for me, and I think I'm still sort of on that road at the moment, still working out what's right and wrong for me and what suits me, and what career I suit professionally. I guess probably my biggest tip that I'd have for students who are currently doing an undergrad or even a postgrad degree is to do a lot of work experience while you're studying. It's those opportunities that allow you to apply what you're learning at uni, and although you might get an opportunity to do that once you graduate, applying it while you're learning it is really valuable, and I wish I did more of that. When I first moved up to the Territory, I had no idea what type of work I would do. I was halfway through my Masters in Sustainable Agriculture and was pretty much up for anything. I was lucky enough that a friend of mine put me in contact with a researcher at the Government Department in Agriculture here, and she suggested that I apply for a scholarship to do some research overseas. And I had no idea what that meant at the time, but jumped at the idea of doing anything related to what I had studied. So I applied for a scholarship with the Crawford Fund to travel overseas and join a group of researchers funded through the Australian Centre for International Agricultural Research. Most of that work was based in Cambodia and a little bit in Vietnam. That allowed me to get to know researchers from all over Australia, and also to learn a whole range of different research skills that I wouldn't otherwise have picked up here. I also got a lot of experience in capacity building, working with people from diverse cultures, and I got to learn a whole new production system and new environment, as well as getting to see another part of the world. There's so many exciting opportunities out there, and all you have to do is put your hand up and give it a go. So there are a number of scholarships and awards that will allow you to do something outside of your degree, or do a little extra inside your degree. You could use some funding, research funding to do some more, sort of extend a research project within your degree. And also there's a lot of scholarships and awards to do some training in any area, whether it's a sort of soft skill, management or leadership, or working in teams, or public speaking, or presenting science. And there are also a lot of awards and scholarships for attending conferences for students. And they are fantastic opportunities to make really invaluable connections and to learn a lot about the types of work that's happening in the industry that you're interested in. You also, in opportunities like that, get to connect with a lot of employers. And generally, people at conferences are happy for you to keep in touch, connect on LinkedIn, and build your network that way. Another tip I would have is to stay flexible. So it's pretty hard to tell what a role or a job will be like without actually doing it. So rather than having trying to formulate ideas about the things that you like and are looking for in a career, give them all a go, because you don't really know until you try.
If you'd like to know more about Flinders University courses and where they can take you, visit flinders.edu.au.